Hi, everyone. All right, thanks. I think, am I audible? Just give me a thumbs up. All right, thanks, Dustin. I noticed that. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We are just getting started and we'll give it another minute to make sure all speakers are able to speak and we have everyone on the call who's supposed to be. Um, all right. So, good morning again. Good morning, good afternoon again. And this call is being recorded. This is the second community call for Unique Network for 2024, and it has been quite a start to the year. First of all, wishing you all a very happy Valentine's Day. We have indeed received much love this Valentine's Day from the community, from everything that's going on. And if you are tuned into our Twitter or our Telegram channel, you know it's buzzing. And we will cover all of that and more in the call today. So, as speakers, we will, of course, hear from Alex, our CEO, from Greg, our CTO, and we have the developer or the person who made the DED game, Deadmine, and that is quite a rage in the last 24 hours. We have not been able to sleep well for good reasons because there is so much excitement in the community. So, without any further delays, very quickly, it has been a great, busy last few weeks. In fact, since Jan, we received support from the community for the NFT XCM proposal, and Greg will cover more detail on that. We announced the fastest mint delivered 100,000 NFTs minted in 18 minutes, 42 seconds. So that's spectacular. And this was triggered by Forever Has Fallen, a game, a transmedia scavenger hunt game that has been building in the ecosystem. And those of you who joined our previous community calls would know the founder, Kim In. I'll cover a little bit more later on what's happening there. But before we get into that, let's hear from Alex. There's a lot that Alex has to share. So over to you, Alex.
Thank you, Charu. Welcome, everybody. Nice to, see you all. Hi, Dustin. Long time no see, and everybody else. As Charu said, it's a very busy start of the year. I have actually declared to the team that the crypto spring is here a couple of weeks ago. I do it later than the finance guys. I wait to look at the actual traction and people starting building things, people starting to do things and so on. And I am now confident that crypto spring is definitely here. We see it everywhere, and as usual, I don't know if about you, I have been around blockchain space for 7 years now. The things are only going to get warmer. Okay, I think that this year and probably the first half of the next year are going to be very, very hot. A lot of capital is starting to come into this space. And with the capital, a lot of builders start building, and a lot of users start using and doing things and so on. We are very well positioned for that growth. We have started the year. I don't know if you guys have seen and posted that in our Telegram channel and on Twitter, that we started January with being number 5 parachain in terms of numbers of active users in Polkadot ecosystem, and I hope to maintain that position and hopefully grow all the other parameters. We have for 6 months now, maybe even longer. We started kind of looking carefully at the data that actually tracks actual traction on chain. and comparing us to other parachains. I see that I'm going to talk about that all the time. I want to put together reports that we will share here and on our monthly updates and everything like that, because that is our goal. Our goal is to be one of the top parachains in the Polkadot ecosystem, and that is the way I'd like kind of community to assess us, to assess how much we're working, because there's not much we ourselves can do about the token price or things like that, but about traction, that's our job. As managers, our job is to grow the chain and get people to use it, and this is what we are working on. So for us, these are our internal KPIs: the number of users, the number of transactions, the monthly active kind of unique wallets, new wallets. We'll come up with the kind of KPIs in a formal fashion as we go along. I've been trying to get Parity Data team to publish their reports for, I don't know, 6-9 months now, something like that. They're slow as hell, but luckily there's a second team came in, and hopefully they will be faster. So we'll get the kind of third-party industrial strength access to data, so it's not us kind of talking about things. We now rely mostly on Subscan for that, which has a good data. Doesn't have full coverage, but hopefully we will get the full stuff. But the main message is we are getting a lot of real action. Polkadot people in the ecosystem view us very differently, which we have seen heavily when we were applying for the NFT XCM project. People see us very differently, and that depends on their kind of starting point of view. Do they look at what's really happening on chain? Do they really look at objectively at what we have done, or they're looking at parameters that are not kind of that are subjective, let's put it that way, or that are not within our scope of control. We started getting traction with things we did before, and we believe that this year should be the year of high growth. The tech is in place. It works very well. We will talk more about the game we launched yesterday. For that, the current data is that there's 15 in 24 hours we have 1,500 players, and let me see what's the current number of NFTs minted in this 24 hours. 26,000. Okay, just from that one game. So there are things to improve in that game, in the user experience as well, with working with Stripe on that, helping him do that. But we expect actually the traction on the game to be even higher when marketing agencies are turned on. But I don't want to get too much into that. The point is we're starting to grow. And because we are very ready. The feedback we get from partners we work with is that they try to do things in other kind of NFT system members, and the experience with us is kind of very seamless. And the other kind of chains, they find a lot of issues. Okay, we have issues too. I won't kind of exaggerate things. But rolling out stuff like we did yesterday with DED Game is kind of a very, very good indicator of what we can do and what we do. Now, so Charu, remind me of the topics we dive into. We dive into the dead mine, right?
I think if we can talk about the fastest mint, if you'd like to add anything there. And you and Greg from the tech perspective, then I can give a quick review of where we are on the game and the campaigns, and then we are all about dead games.
Okay. Oh, we have Ashley here. Hi, Ashley. Live tree. Haven't spoken in a while. We need to touch base. Anyway, the fastest mint. So that's a nice story. When we created when we started creating Unique, Greg and I were like, okay, let's make the best NFT chain out there, something that can do stuff that nobody else can do, and can do it better, faster, and so on. Of course, every founder wants their product to be the best. Then we, rolled out Unique, kind of got the slot, started working, and so on. And then, okay, we need to start kind of convincing people that we built the best chain. And I asked the team, okay, so how are we doing on scalability? And they measured it, and it was so. It was like, 30 NFTs a minute or something like that, something that you can do, or 50 or whatever, something that you can do with Ethereum. And I started kind of telling them, okay, we need to kind of do something about it. And then Forever Has Fallen guys came in and they said, we need 5 million NFTs. And I asked Greg, okay, so how long are we going to need to mint them? And his face was kind of strange, a little bit red. Sorry, Greg. And I was like, okay, let me figure it out. And, it was like a few days. I was like, well, I'm sure we can do better. And then we spent the next 6 months kind of figuring out different ways how we can make it better. And then with Forever and His Fallen guys said, okay, we want to launch the game. Let's launch this. And I was like, okay, let's do this. We sat down with the core team, and I said, okay, so how fast can we do it? They said, well, right now we can do it, I don't remember, 300 a minute, but then we can kind of speed it up to like a few thousand a minute. And then, soon there will be asynchronous backing, so that will double. I was like, okay, let's do this. And we set up the experiment where we minted the first 100,000 in a chain as it was. And there are some results. I forgot the numbers. I'm sorry. But it was like a few hundred a minute. It was already best in Polkadot. Okay. Nobody else can do that. The NFTs palette can do like 20 or 30 a minute or something like that. The EVM also. Then we gave a month to the core team. They did a job, rolled out the forkless upgrade, and then we measured the next one. It was 5,000. It was actually 5,335. I calculated. 4,900 that we have official there was the kind of theoretical calculation. And now we are just waiting for the next upgrade for asynchronous backing, so we can double the number. That is faster than anybody else. Our kind of people have actually looked at Solana, at Polkadot, at Polygon. Actually looked at all the big drops they did, all the big kind of collections, bigger, and they have actually calculated the amount, the time it actually took them. So they were both at around 1450 a minute. So we beat them by 3 times already. Now we have actually dug into Solana a lot, and it can be much faster, but nobody has ever optimized it. It's unstable. I like to think of it as a race car that has a race car engine, but everything else from regular cars. So there's something like that. It doesn't have tuning, doesn't have stability. Our stability is awesome. I mean, the moment we put in 100,000 NFTs for mint, we knew exactly at what block, at what time it will come out. Okay, this is something, okay, there's no competition yet. There's no others doing that at the same time. But still, even with that, we could tell you exactly when it's going to happen. So we are getting there in terms of really having the best blockchain out there. And I want to thank the Forever Has Fallen guys for giving us such a task so that we can show it and prove it. I can't wait for that game to really get going. We've been talking with Kaiman about it for a long time. It's a lot of fun. I encourage you guys to try it out. It's something completely different, something that's a brain teaser, and it's a lot of fun, and it's completely different. It's you have to solve clues and you have to turn on the brain. Okay. Now that's kind of that's it. I think about that. I wanted to give microphone, as I said, to Greg to talk about NFT XCM, which is a strategic project we're doing this year to kind of make sure that everybody in Polkadot ecosystem has capabilities like no other ecosystem. So, Greg, microphone to you. Is Greg here? I don't see him in the list. Nope.
Greg, if you unmute yourself, you should be able to speak now.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the nice intro, Alex. So, like Polkadot was saying a lot that the interoperability between networks is important, and finally we're coming to this stage. So I'm going to speak about the XCM NFT project that we just received a grant for. We see a certain number of NFT or fungible bridges in the ecosystem. At this, even though we see this bridges coming up, the capability that Polkadot offers is native. It's their biggest claim that the native consensus messaging is going to be available, and we're not going to need bridges, centralized or decentralized, any kind of bridges. They come natural as XCM protocol. So we're gonna start building. This is a huge project for us. We have been working on this for a year already before we received any funding, and we achieved good results. We see there is a we actually put together a POC as the initial transfer of NFTs between Akala and Karura and Quartz network. So one of our NFTs traveled back and forth, and this was very successful. It worked without any bumps, without any problems. On the first attempt, it was huge success. It's even some members of the team were pessimistic about it, but it worked. And so what we're gonna do next, we're gonna generalize and make this thing work so that any parachain in the ecosystem can integrate our tools and with very little effort enable NFT transfers between our networks. So we're planning to take in the circle multiple networks like Astar, Moonbeam. We're even trying to work to expand our network to maybe Asset Hub, but there is no particular plan there yet. With the parachains enabling the transfers, the story doesn't end, because we need web tools, and we need we need to enable the end users and the developers who are working on the dApps to actually use our tooling on chain that we develop. And this is also part of our plan. We're planning to deliver the library and SDK and the UI that people will be able to use with our NFT transfers and transfer NFTs between these networks. So there's a huge plan. We see ahead a lot of work ahead of us. There are more milestones, which even include research of ink, and how we can enable XCM transfers for NFTs made with ink. There's an NFT standard there, and hopefully we will be especially for ink, we can't be very certain because there is a lot of there are a lot of unknowns still with ink, but we'll do our best. I think this is all update, the whole update for me, and I'm open to questions.
Great. Thank you, Greg. We'll open up the floor for Q&A. We've also received some community questions, which we will all take together at the end. And finally, let's dive into the Deadmine game, which many of you on the call may already be playing. I see all of you share scores. It's been so fun. So, Alex, do you want to open it up by how it all started? And then we have Stripey Zebra on the call, and who will share his experience. So, Alex, over to you for opening remarks on Deadmine.
Oh, I would kind of give the microphone right to Stripey because it's his game. But I just wanted to say, I am not a meme coin person. Okay, I have tried always not to pay attention to them at all. But when chats starting around just before Christmas about memcoin for Polkadot, and the way that DED was kind of envisioned, I was like, holy Christ, this is exactly what Polkadot needs. Because DED is the perfect kind of match for it, because everybody was saying how Polkadot is dead, how nothing's happening, it's kind of, there's no users, there's nobody's building anything, nobody's doing anything, it's dead. Okay, and so launching a mem coin and dot is dead is perfect. Okay, it's a perfect hymn to our longevity. So whenever somebody wants to put us under the ground, we'll tell them yes, Polkadot is dead. Okay, so it's a perfect kind of match. I loved it. So I was thinking about it for a few days, and I was like, okay, let's make let's have a game for that. And we just tweeted the bounty for it. And the next day, I got a kind of message from, Stripey's kind of friend, let's say. I was like, okay, we're working on something already. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And we spoke with Stripey. What was it? I think it was January 10th. For the first time. He was already working on it a little bit. And here we are a month later. We have a game that in the first 24 hours has more than 1,500 players and more than 25,000 NFTs. It must be some kind of record in Polkadot ecosystem. But I'll leave to Stripey to kind of talk about anything he wants, his game. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Stripey, welcome. Finally, your turn to speak.
Hello.
You're the star for the evening. Hi, so tell us about yourself first. Tell us a little bit about your journey into the Polkadot ecosystem. How long have you been around? And of course, we can't wait to hear about the game and your vision.
So first of all, can you hear me? Am I audible? Is the audio quality good?
Perfect.
Okay,
yes.
So I'm pretty new to the Polkadot ecosystem, mainly because my primary occupation is in game development. I'm not really a Web3 and blockchain person. And although I'm interested in the topic, I'm generally not actively involved in all the new stuff that's going on in the space. So I'm a bit late to the party on Polkadot. However, coming from EVM chains to Polkadot, I can immediately see how much better it is, because EVM was certainly important for pioneering the idea of on-chain smart contracts and tokenization, but Polkadot is clearly an evolution of that. So EVM feels like outdated technology in comparison. And precisely because I'm primarily a game developer and not a Web3 developer, it's interesting to me that Unique is trying to make it easy for someone who's unfamiliar with Web3 to start working with blockchain right away without spending 14 billion years trying to figure out how to connect MetaMask to the browser and how to submit a transaction. So that's pretty much it for my Polkadot journey.
Amazing.
It has
Amazing.
only recently started, and it started with Unique.
Started with a big bang. So amazing. And it's been so fun working with, for all of us, working with you in building the game out. So tell us about the game then. I mean, you said you're new to the ecosystem. You discovered Dot is Dead. And what inspired you to make a game centered on that theme? And what's your vision for this game now?
Well, it all started by a person who's related to DED approaching me and offering to make some games for DED.
Mm-hmm.
And I just... Actually, there's a plan to make multiple games, so there isn't any specific reason to make this specific game. It's just one of many that are planned for this
Wow.
project.
Okay, great. And within the game, we see this bird breaking blocks and collecting badges. So what happens when the bird collects all the badges? What can people and the gamers look forward to? What happens when it comes to the surface? So what's coming next? Give us a little bit of a sneak peek into that. And also, maybe before that, a quick intro into the game for people who have not played the game yet, who have not signed up for the game. Maybe that's where we start.
Yeah, so the overall idea, and it's a bit of a spoiler, but the general idea is to have multiple games that in the end will tell the user a coherent, grand story about the journey of the Polkadot ecosystem. And this is just the first chapter in that story. And you can definitely expect whatever tokens you have earned from one game to be usable in other games, perhaps for a cosmetic item, perhaps for something else. But you can definitely expect to get something in our future games by collecting all the badges in this game.
Amazing. So everyone who's playing, hold on to your birdies, hold on to your badges, keep collecting and keep playing. There are leaderboards there, and my gosh, it's been tough to beat those scores. So how have the last 24 hours been for you? How much traction you've seen? Have you faced any issues? What's most exciting? So tell us a little bit about the last 24 hours for you.
Well, the traction has been, let's say, greater than expected for first day after launch. But that's why we have also faced some issues. Some people have faced difficulties with minting. So I had to make a decision to just not sleep in order to fix everything in time. But it seems to be better now after some fixes have been made. And will only continue to get better because we're planning to keep updating Deadmine in the foreseeable future. So expect some updates, possibly with more content as well.
Great. Amazing. Amazing. So yeah, this is a game for the community and for all the parachains. So it's exciting to see everyone participate in and reach out to us or to Stripey if you have any questions on the game. And so Stripey, anything else you'd like to share? Or Alex, do you have any questions or for Stripey before we move on?
Yeah, well, I would like to ask how your experience in using. Okay, I go around and I tell everybody how easy it is to use Unique and how kind of powerful it is and all that stuff, but nobody believes me because I'm biased. Okay, so can you tell just a little bit of your experience so far? How long does it take to figure things out and so on?
So I can immediately say that it's easier than EVM chains. I'll be completely honest with you that I haven't worked with substrate chains in the past. Unique is my first one, but it was definitely easier than my past experiences with doing stuff on Ethereum and other EVM-based chains. And as I've become more familiar with Unique, I've seen that it's really fast and cheap, and it has its own API for easily minting tokens, managing metadata, fetching user balance, stuff like that. And you would think that these are basic features of a blockchain and that it just should come naturally, but many chains, as it turns out, even some of the really popular ones, don't really provide an easy and straightforward way to interact with their blockchain, and it makes it much more difficult. But Unique does it, as well as some really interesting features like dynamically updating the metadata within a token and nesting a token within another token, which can have some very interesting applications in gaming, as you have already seen on a smaller scale in DED Mine, and perhaps you will see it on an even bigger scale in our future projects. So out of all the Polkadot parachains, sorry for taking so much time, Unique seemed like it's really the best option for blockchain integration in gaming when it comes to Polkadot, because I can't see anything better. So I'm glad
Thank you.
that Unique reached to that. I'm glad that we don't have to use another inferior chain.
Thank you. Now, I wanted to underline here one thing that actually, what Stripey did here, and he does not even realize how revolutionary that is. The stuff, some stuff he mentioned, and but very modestly. This game features several kind of things that are extremely hard to do on other chains with other technologies. So first and foremost, when you come in, you mint your kind of ID, your main kind of NFT, the bird, the dead mine NFT. But then that becomes apparent, and as you go through the game, you collect badges, other NFTs that nest to this. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you go on our marketplace, people are already selling those badges. I don't know if people are buying, but people are selling them. You cannot sell the dead mine one; it's soul bound. Okay, but the badges are free because you can go and earn more or whatever. So there's this nesting feature and okay, soul bound in action. But then interesting thing is as you collect the score, okay, if you go to your bird, your dead mine NFT, it tells you there. Well, it tells you your nickname, which you enter in the very beginning, your name, which is a static parameter, but or metadata. But then it gives you XP that actually gets updated every time you earn points. This is actually, first of all, it's very unique. Okay, that capability is very hard to do on, impossible on many chains. Very hard to do on many chains, and but Stripey has done it in a day. Okay, we were just brainstorming about different things, and they settled on collecting the cumulative XP as a parameter, because that can be translated into future games. It can be a basis for competitions and stuff like that. One thing that we want to do is we want to start conversation in their community about how to design competitions correctly, so that any rewards that come out of competitions, they go out interestingly and fairly. But that will be talked about in due course on their channel, I guess. So that can be an interesting one. So here you have an example of very advanced NFT functionality done in a week or two. Actually, the chain stuff, it took. Okay, so Stripey, what do you think if you add up the hours you spent on Web3 part? How long did that take?
I would say about a week.
There you go. And he is a complete newcomer to Unique, and kind of, not too advanced with blockchain gaming at all. So this is a best example of how, for me, this is confirmation of, it is easy to work with Unique. And again, we have had 26,000, right? 26,000 in the NFTs in the first day. And sponsoring, I forgot about that. Yeah, have you noticed that you guys don't have to pay to mint an NFT? Okay, that's because the game is sponsoring that mint. So the whole user experience is very easy. All you need to do is have a wallet, set it up, and that's it. Now there are challenges there because there are different wallets in Polkadot ecosystem. Talisman and Sub Wallet work well, and Polkadot.js, of course. Nova has a little bit of issues, but especially the problem is in mobile. Okay, so far, the game is such, it's not easy to. We probably need to make an application, a mobile app, for it to really work, because wallets have a hard time in giving landscape mode and full screen mode and all those things. So there are kind of inherent limitations to that. But hopefully, if the game becomes popular, I think that maybe that's not out of the question as well. So we'll see. But anyway, thank you, Stripey, for making a lot of fun, for giving us a lot of reasons to have fun. I think that this game is a great way to engage that community while we're waiting. All we're waiting for is the airdrop. It gives the project kind of depth and meaning and fun and kind of collective stuff. It gives a good introduction to all the newcomers to find out about different projects in the ecosystem, which was a great idea. And we wholeheartedly support that. Hopefully, we'll see more projects come in and support that and get their badge. If you're running a project in Polkadot that you want, and you want your badge to be in the game, please do something for that and reach out. Okay, it's free, but you need to do something to support that as a community, and it's okay. I would want to finish at that. I think, Charu, we do have questions, right?
We do. We just want to make one or two quick announcements and updates. So we will be participating in Sub-Zero, and we will share more about NFT XCM. Daniel from our team will be present. I will be present. So we reach out to us if you are going to Sub-Zero. And then a very quick update on Unique Networks participation at the Polkadot Blockchain Academy. We presented we had 2 lectures to give to the students. Greg delivered a lecture on the advanced NFT capabilities. I delivered one on the founders track, and then we had various conversations with the founders. And it was really interesting to see all the advanced NFT capabilities being thought of and being used in projects that are being built by new founders in the ecosystem. So everything, as Alex said, that we had everything ready, and now is the team time. We are seeing traction on it. We are seeing these capabilities being used. So and you'll see a lot more coming out in the coming months. And then, while we've been sharing a lot of announcements, there's more to come this week and in the next week. So stay tuned. And now we can open up to questions. So Alex, I posted a link on your Telegram chat for the questions we've collected from the community. And
Yep.
we can go over those and then open up the floor for questions, live questions, if you have time.
Okay. Yeah. So questions. I can read them. I mean, I don't mind.
Okay.
So first question: when listing, sex listing, centralized exchange listing. We are focused right now on DEXs. Okay, we've been on Akala for a while. We have launched on ArtSwap. Okay, if you go to ArtSwap, you can kind of trade. You can swap unique there now, and there's some good liquidity as well, and there's some good rewards as well for staking there. So I encourage people to do that. And there is an open, I guess, order book formation for Hydra. Which people tell, a lot of people have told us that is a very good DEX and so on. So we are opening now a channel with Moonbeam, so we will be listing token there as well. So our goal is to have coverage everywhere in the Polkadot ecosystem, so that DEX is our favorite. We are very much in favor of, not your private key, not your token. So DEX is our kind of a big priority. We are listed on Huobi. Some people say it's a great exchange. Some people say it's a horrible exchange. It's personal. Centralized exchanges charge a lot of money for listing, and we prefer to invest money in kind of doing useful things for the community and for traction and growth. We will get there, but we want to try some of those that are kind of really into Polkadot ecosystem. But we'll see kind of how far that gets. I don't know. I would love to be listed on Kraken. I don't know what their policies are now. We have finally kind of met all their requirements, but where they are, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and I guess, Char, does this mean the same user is asking topics like to speak on developer growth and 24 roadmap, right?
Looks like it, yes.
Okay. So developer growth. You can. I would encourage you to follow the statistics on that. I mean, I can talk a lot, and people kind of can choose to believe me or not, but statistics say it all. The number of extrinsics, that's the number to follow, and you'll see the track record. It's as I said, Crypto Spring is here. People are starting to build. We've built a chain that's very easy to onboard, and we will actually have an announcement on the roadmap and on the developer growth, I think tomorrow. It should be coming out.
Yeah.
So please stay tuned for that. I'll defer until tomorrow for that. Okay, next question. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, love is dead. Irina posted a very nice picture on that today. I want to ask two important community questions. Should we expect more decreases of unique staking rewards in the future? Yes. The thing is, as more kind of tokens get into circulation this way, there is a natural amount of decrease. The kind of staking of 20% is high. Everybody, the Polkadot is decreasing theirs, and we follow that route. So about 10% annual kind of reduction in that return is what we have in mind now. Second, is there a plan for Substrapunks and Celebrix utility? As you know, even the old little bonus of 50% fees distributed has for a while existed on paper. Thanks. Actually, I think we have distributed recently the royalties. They have royalties now. I don't know if you know that. 5% from those, they go to actually all token holders. So all Punk and Celebrix token holders. The royalties don't go to the author of the collections, which is us. They go to you, so to owners. So those will be distributed. Oh, I forgot. I think quarterly, monthly, something like that. Should be automatic. Okay, so please, here, Charu, if you can follow up and
Sure.
in our Telegram channel, kind of print out the plan, exact plan for how frequent those royalties will be done. More than that, every time a new project comes on board, we try to think of the ways how to kind of engage owners of those two collections, because those are OGs. Okay, people who own that stuff, they are with us from the beginning. So expect more utility. Yes. We are working now on a lot of different things for customizable NFTs, and I'm pretty sure that will kind of reinvigorate a little bit these old projects. I have some ideas on that. So yeah, we haven't forgot about them. Don't worry. Okay, what are your plan on the next bull market? Okay. Next bull market is now. First of all, it started. My personal projection is that with ups and downs, but it will last for a year and a half. And our plan is growth. It's managed growth. Okay. We don't want to go crazy. We have learned that there are, just like there are bull markets in crypto space, there are bear markets. And so right now we are very active in onboarding projects and users. And that's going to kind of accelerate over the next 6 months and so on. As the bull market develops, second part of it becomes crazy. Projects start asking for gazillion dollars to kind of do anything, and so on. Prices go crazy. So at that point, we'll kind of start to slow down in terms of investments, and we'll kind of try to keep the ammunition for the next bear market. So that's the strategy. To be simple, to be contrarian a little bit. During this bear market, our only goal was to be ready for the bull market, and we are ready. What we have done is, if you guys kind of take a look at the statistics, you will see that actually our social media following has been very slowly but growing over the last year, little by little, every day or every week, whatever. In the bear market, people go away. We have grown, actually. That's why we are number 5 parachain in Polkadot today, because people that are with us, they are with us. Okay, and so we have been working on quality of the stuff we have, and most importantly on the tech we have, so that people, when you come to Unique, we tell you can launch in a week, and you can actually do it. It's doable. It's kind of perfectly, everything is ready for it. So we have that, and because of that, we think we have a great advantage. We have not only a tech ready, but we have documentation ready. We have the tech team ready to support anybody, and kind of Stripey can kind of witness to that, because he was flushed with attention on any of every step of the way. So that's the kind of user journey that projects have when they come to us. We give them a lot of tech support, a lot, so it becomes easy for them. It's not only tech support; it's actually architecture consulting, it's development a little bit, it's examples, it's testing, it's review, and so on. So and we have a very good team that's very experienced in that. We have kept investing in teams so that we can have that once the market starts rolling. So we're in a very good place. I believe that we are a very good place to capture the growth that will come to Polkadot ecosystem and blockchain in general. Okay, next question. We're seeing more games joining Unique network system. How do you plan to double down on it? Simple, double down. We are happily supporting Polkadot Play. That's the Polkadot Gaming Alliance. So we have that they're using their Unity SDK, and more importantly, organizationally supporting those efforts. So we're going together with other parachains to help overall gaming come to Polkadot. Which share will be ours, which is not I don't care, honestly, that much. I care about actually first increasing the size of the pie. But as we are getting traction, usually starting to get traction means that there's more traction. So that's gonna happen. Congrats on the fastest mint announcement. What is the significance of it? Is it attracting any business? Is it attracting any business deals? What is the significance of it? For me personally, the significance of it is that we have accomplished what we said what we want to accomplish, and what we kind of said we will do. We kept our word. We made the world's fastest NFT chain. Okay, is the most efficient. It's also most energy efficient. If you remember, it's the CO2 stuff is still valid, very much so. So when you tell somebody, I made the fastest car in the world, that kind of has some significance, right? It means we've done something good. Okay, but in addition to stability, that's kind of that's important. Now, in terms of is it attracting any business deals, I can't tell you that yet. Okay, it's been too soon. Business deals are something that takes months, if not years, to actually do. Is it attracting attention? Yes. Charu can share here or afterwards the list of PR coverage we got. If you go to, she has shown me we were the second on Reddit in NFT marketplaces. This topic was second on Reddit. Okay, of all topics. So it does get a lot of attention, but I would say deservedly so, because this is objective. Yeah, Charu, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I was just agreeing with that we'll shortly post that update, that snapshot from Reddit. But yes, we've been receiving a lot of traction, media coverage, and journalists are reaching out to understand what will drive the future of NFTs after they read the article. So yes, we are getting attention on that.
So business deals, it's too early. Business deals take, again, months or years, but attention, PR, respect, yes. But if you notice, we didn't talk much about Unique there. We talked about Polkadot. So for me personally, that's important, because what we want is people to come and see Polkadot as the place with powerful tech. Okay, so hopefully that attention turns into something in addition. Okay. Next question: what is the strategy to attract more business this year? What do you expect? When do you expect to be net positive in revenue? This is for blockchain project. Asking these questions to a blockchain project is strange, but not to me. Okay. So first of all, blockchain projects usually don't have revenue. Okay. We create the blockchain, and then miners get rewards for mining it, and that's it. Okay, our role is to create a blockchain and launch it, and to popularize it. Okay, so that's what we are focused on. However, we have actually launched a parallel sister company for services, and that brings us revenues. As you have seen, we got the grant for an NFT XCM. That covers a lot of expenses we have for building out that stuff and utilizing that expertise. We also have revenue from staking. We have received a lot of DOT on our public sale and KSM. We haven't spent a penny of it. Okay, we are earning it. We are staking it. It's being used for our next parachain slot, and I just wanted the community to know that their money is not spent at all. It's there still, and that will be kind of spent only for the next for the second 4 years or something like that. It's a runway. So we are looking to extend that runway a lot. So as a business, we are very conservative. Okay, a number of projects are left without money. We still have very decent runway, and with the bull market happening and us having still a lot of DOT and a lot of other crypto, that will extend us for the next 4 or 5 years. So, in that respect, we're very, very conservative. Okay, next question. How is NFT XCM work going? Greg, you want to answer that?
Sure. We are actually, I think I touched upon this a little bit, but I can say we are right now we are working on the very first lines of our proposal in the milestone 2. Milestone 1 is completed already, but it was completed at the time we received funding already. Milestone 2 has started, and we're working on a very nice piece right now, which is predicting the fees that XCM program will take. This is something that was never thought of in the ecosystem before, because we were transferring fungible assets. With NFTs, this is especially important because you cannot pay fees, network fees, with an NFT. You can pay it with fungibles. You transfer DOT, you pay for transaction with DOT, it goes seamless. But if you're transferring NFT, you need to pay for the transaction with something, and that's important. So if we provide wrong amount of fees, the transaction will fail, and NFT will get lost. Nasty things will happen. So we're trying to avoid this, and this is a very important piece. So next we're gonna work. Actually, Daniel is gonna present the XNFT palette, the design, and some first versions of it on the Sub-Zero. If you're interested, please come to see his talk in Sub-Zero. That's all for now. We haven't had a chance to work on anything else.
Thank you. So overall, the plan is it should be launched in September. We will reach out to kind of relevant parachains much earlier, and kind of see and figure out the plan, rollout plan much earlier, because the main part should be finished by May. What they need, and then the rest of the time will be all the tooling around so that developers and end users can use it. And there will be time needed for deployment. We already started negotiations with us at Hub for kind of inclusion there. They're going to be tough nut to crack because they're very conservative. And but we started early. We'll see how that works out. Again, I would expect the NFT XCM rollout in the fall. I'm shooting for September or something like that. That's in the summer, it's not a good time to launch anything. Everybody's on vacation, even in crypto space. So, okay, final. We are over the hour. Charu, do we finish with the last question?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
And yeah.
Well, I'll do that. So.
Okay.
Along one with the 5 questions. I would like to congratulate the team on the first ever NFT transfer XCM, the launch of the game, Deadmine, fastest NFT mint, and the implementation of the Polkadot NFT collective idea. That idea is not implemented. It's just an idea still. We're still waiting to hear from Decentralized Futures on what they think. Okay, I'm sure that many exciting events await us. I can't read the rest of it, but it says I have a few questions for the team. Have parts of the CryptoPunk 3.0.4.2 have been distributed to the wallets? No, unfortunately. We haven't disclosed it yet, but that punk has been stolen. It's something that has happened a while back. We are trying to put up the bounty for it to recover it, to give a white hat hack kind of bounty, but we were not successful. It was an oversight security kind of lapse in that we have covered since heavily. Learned a lot from the lessons, but unfortunately, that will not happen. We will need to kind of figure out what to do with that project to kind of finalize it. We have the Substrapunk that was part of that story, and we'll probably distribute that to kind of finish the story. But and this is an unfortunate thing that has happened, and with the amount of things we do, I'm happy that it's the only one. It's very unpleasant, for the people involved. It was kind of a very scary and kind of very scary thing. We did a lot of lessons learned from that, but again, it is what it is, unfortunately. Next question. Will any useful or utility probably be added for Substrapunk and Celebrix? As I said a few minutes ago on the previous question, I think composable NFTs are going to be very interesting concept for those collections to start getting utility. And again, everybody who comes along, those two collections, we tell them about them, that they are kind of so, if the project involves some kind of invite for certain people, then those are the first to be. So that's the plans for now. Can we find out which games have already been developed on the Unique network and which ones are still being developed? Well, the ones that developed, you have two so far. You have the Dead Mind game you launched yesterday, and Forever Has Fallen, which announced last week, and they are launching the first phase in about a month or so, I think. Which ones are still being developed? I cannot disclose. Those projects need to disclose that themselves. This is not it's not big pipeline. We expect that pipeline to be building up over the year. Roadmap for 2024. Okay, our roadmap is growth. Everybody asked me about the roadmap, but there is very little internal development we need to do now. We have developed a lot. The number of lines of code, the number of applications, this stuff. What we need to do is roll that all out and get people to use it. We started doing that, and that's what you see on chain in results. There are things we are doing, okay, on the core level and on the tooling level. The core team works mostly on the NFT XCM. That's their biggest job of the year. There are a lot of small things that are smaller in scopes that they do. XCM channels to everybody, updates. We just removed pseudo and have governance, okay, which is important. We intend to further decentralize that, but with the amount of news we have on the user end fronts, that kind of is easy to kind of lose sight on. And then on the tooling side, we are actually doing right now, finishing up what we call the Schemas 2.0, which is the next generation of the metadata for Unique. Our team has figured out a way how to make it extremely powerful and well organized. So we will be rolling that out, I think, in the second quarter. That will serve as basis for the customizable and composable NFT platforms. But we will talk more about that in the near future when closer to the announcements and ready. But that's what I just wanted to tell you as it is. The rest of the things we do work on is tied into the projects that come in. We devote a lot of resources to helping them build stuff. So that's why the roadmap is not fixed. We help those who come in. Final question: what partnership might we see in the future? Tune in tomorrow. That's all I can say. We have a new way of dealing with that, and you will hear about that tomorrow. So with that, I think we covered all the questions. Charu, off to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Alex, for taking up the questions. And we are over the hour. I do not see any requests to ask the questions. But if you have any more questions, feel free to post on Telegram. And let's keep playing the Dead Mine and stay on top of the leaderboard. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.